Watch this video. It's great.
As an old fuddy duddy is a urban dictionary. It's a old person. I identify myself as a fuddy duddy, but I'll call out fuddy duddies who are not progressive. Mostly they're people like me who grew up with G1, but they're like, what? Trans rights? Black Lives Matter? They hate change, even though they love Transformers. But a lot of fuddy duddies like me will say, "What's your favorite Transformers movie? The 1986 one. Oh boy, nothing like G1. Yeah. Oh, you like the Bayverse? F you. You know, I like the 86 movie, but to be honest, the first time I saw it was on VHS from Blockbuster in like 97. The first time I experienced the movie was as a kid in the 80s through it was a sticker album. The cool thing is that the sticker album came with a little the decoder that comes with Transformers, and you would be able to see what the stickers were without having the stickers. So all you needed was the album and the little decoder. So that's how I experienced it. Also, the Marvel comic book and the Transformers Universe comic, which is great. The universe is basically like files of Transformers with their bios. But 86 movie isn't my favorite. My favorite Bayverse movie would be 3. That's Dark of the Moon. Um, and people would, if you're asking why Dark of the Moon, all right, the first one was good, but had a lot of weird stuff. Bumblebee peeing, a masturbation joke as Happy Time, Sam's Happy Time. Um, and the action was horrible because if you were alive back then, people would complain that all you would see was in the screen was this whenever the Transformers would fight because the camera was too close to the robots because it was focused on the humans. So it had bad action. The story is decent. The end is kind of whack. It's just like, oh, we're here at the dam. Oh, there's the cube. Oh no, Megatron's getting out. Now Megatron's going to Mission City. Now we have to fight Megatron in the city. Put the cube in my chest. Oh no, put it in that chest in the end. It kind of sucks. Uh, Revenge of the Fallen uh, is the bad movie. At first, it was bad, but I kind of like it now. It does have some issues, like Skids and Mudflap are obviously African American stereotypes. I mean, you had that stereotype in the first one with Anthony Anderson, eating donuts because he's fat and then getting raided by the FBI. Yeah. But that was the thing that stuck out in everyone's craw back then when it came out. But as time has gone by, I've gotten a better appreciation. Skids and Mudflap are still a little annoying. They're a little funny too. They look ugly as heck. I don't like any of the Bayverse designs. But Skids and Mudflap, but they would make jokes like when they called Leo a chia pet. There's the famous phrase FTJ, FTJ, fuel the jet. There's a kitten calendar. There's that weird scene with the professor, the guy from The Office, who's like, that guy's been accused of of sexual misconduct with his students because he's such a jerk. But then there's the battle with Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime dies, and the movie kind of like limps to the end. You got Soundwave with his Soundwave voice, I love you, with that voice by Frank Welker. Then the Fallen, who looks ugly. The desert battles like boring. Sam dies. It's just kind of funny. But then he comes back to life for some reason. He goes to Cybertronian heaven. But the humor, like one man alone, is funny. It's the humor is okay, but it structurally it's kind of a mess. But that's not my favorite movie. I'm gonna skip my favorite movie because I like to talk. I got no one to talk to. There's nobody here. So I'm gonna skip the third movie, get to the fourth movie, Age of Extinction. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, no more Shia. We got Cade Yeager, uh, played by hate crime doing Mark Wahlberg." I don't know. People say people get canceled, but it's just look at his Wikipedia. His younger years is troubled. I don't know what his views are now, but I don't know. I don't trust it. But he's like an inventor. He's not even a good inventor. He has a daughter. He has the daughter has a boyfriend. They have the Romeo and Juliet thing, which is awkward as f. Michael Bay, what the hell? You can't just say, "Oh no, she's 24, he's 27." No, it's like, "Oh, she's underage, he's overage." Michael Bay, I don't know. It's unnecessary. But then you get Optimus gets a new redesign, which is ugly. He got the pipes. Boop. His truck is ugly too. It's too round. I like my robots boxy. You get new characters who kind of suck. They're all a-holes to each other. And then at the end, everyone was like, Dinobots, Dinobots. At the end, the Dinobots show up, rampage in the city, and then they disappear. Bye bye. Bye bye. And it's like, this sucked. And then we jump into Transformers The Last Night, which everyone says is bad. I should maybe I should edit this out and put it on my AV channel. So Transformers The Last Night, bad on all accounts. Ugly designs, long as the day is long. Long. It, it was supposed to have the bad guy was slapped Optimus, and then he was evil. I'm evil, and he gets snapped out by Bumblebee saying, "Optimus, it's me, your friend." "Oh, Bumblebee, I haven't heard you talk. It's been so long." Like, the first movie or at the beginning of Bumblebee. So it was long. It was dumb. It looks like they were like, let's focus on the humans. So now Mark hate crime Wahlberg, he has the his thing, and he's running around with this girl Vivian, and Anthony Hopkins got on my nerves. He got on my effing nerves. He's telling the prime minister, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I'm like, someone shoot him. Megatron did shoot him when he was strolling around Stonehenge. Like, what are you doing? This is a battle zone. And you're just like, doop 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 doop. And he flew, and I laughed. I didn't see it in the theater, though, but I laughed. It was kind of dumb. And then they ended on a cliffhanger. Do not do that. They ended it on a cliffhanger. And now, rumor has it, Rise of the Beast is gonna tie in to the Bayverse, like X-Men: Days of Future Past. So then you got Bumblebee. Bumblebee is good. No, it's Bumblebee is average. It's mid, as the kids these days would say. It's meh, as people. in the early aughts would say. It's but the first scene on Cybertron is great. I'm still wondering who's that big robot marching behind Ratchet. There's in the first few seconds, Ratchet is boom, 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 and you see a big robot walk past him in the back. I want to say it's Warpath. I don't know, but they should make a toy of him. That Cybertron scene is great, but then all the Charlie stuff is cheap, because they had to save on the budget. Last night didn't make as much money. So it's cheap and it's meh. Um, I feel sorry for Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. Maybe they made that name as a joke. I don't know. I feel sorry for her, but I don't like her, but I don't hate her. She's just me, average. And everything happens. Bumblebee is acting like a baby for some reason, even though he can't talk. He knows how to transform. He's like, Google Gaga, Google. Oh, I stepped on this thing, Google Gaga. I'm smushing the toilet paper and this car that I'm destroying. I don't know. And the most awkward thing is at the end, the love interest of Charlie Memo, who's probably been raised on a steady diet of 80s movies, where to get the girl, all you have to do is try hard enough, keep at it, wear her down. That doesn't work. Don't do that. Don't do that. So after wearing her down, he tries to hold her hand and she's like, not ready. And that was weird. I was like, I know how that feels, Memo. I think the actor is Dominican. I know how that feels, but why? Why even have this? Why even have Memo as he didn't need to be a love interest. He could have been. He didn't have to be in a movie, but that's weird. It's kind of like, oof, he got rejected, and I don't know. Is she ever gonna reciprocate? Doesn't seem like it. I think she's just like just friends. Because if you're a guy, please realize that women do have a fear of like telling a guy no, because guys can become violent. They could be like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I think she's like putting him in the friend zone, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'm not telling you no, so you don't get angry. But it's not going to. But that was weird. But I'm just gonna Nero put up a comment. I'll get to it. I'm just rambling on making content. Some people might be mad about what I say, but it's engagement. That's what I lack. So, Transformer Bumblebee is kind of weird. That end is always weird to me. I own it on DVD. I recently watched it. I have the DVD there. That's what I'm looking at. I bought it like at Rite Aid for like $2. They were having a sale, and it was peg warming. But the only good thing I can say about Bumblebee is that Shatter's design as a lady, as a female, she got cat mouth. Meow. Cat mouth. Wow. So I'm gonna go to my favorite movie after like talking for like 20 minutes. Gonna go to my favorite movie, which is Revenge. No, Dark of the Moon. I watched Dark of the Moon with my wife in the movie theater. It's in New York City. It's the Regal on Union Square, right next to Mid Forbidden Comics, the Forbidden Planet. That movie theater is closing down due to sales. Not the pandemic. I think the pandemic hurt it, but we went there. We watched it, and I remember the scene where the building's falling and everyone's sliding towards their apparent death. My wife is like, the building's like, and baby cakes is like, so that's my favorite movie. That and other stuff. I do think that Shia LaBeouf, he was annoying. He did some annoying things that I find funny now, but the first time I saw it was annoying. Like when he's trying to start the car and he's just like kicking the s out of it. He's like, gun, 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 gun. That's funny. And then the McDreamy comes and says, "You need help." The other scene that it annoyed me the first time, but now I find it funny. The other scene that annoys me, I think it still does, is when he's trying to get into Sector 7 and the car gets caught on the things and he's just like yelling like a maniac, like, whoa, whoa. I'm like, dude, what the hell? What the F is up with you? What's your problem? But I remember seeing in the trailers that he had a gun and like, oh boy, Sam grows up. He got a gun. He didn't shoot anybody. I don't think they gave him the gun. I remember in the trailer, but I felt like this was the his character grew up. Now he had a gun. He was a man. America. But but I think the progression was great. I like the parents. I've always liked the parents. I identify with the dad a lot. The wife can kind of get annoying. In part two, she got annoying with the brownies, but I like the dad. He's funny. Kevin Dunn. He was on Veep. He was in this movie with Chris Farley called Almost Heroes. He's a funny dude. The great casting. Um, and then you got the allusions to G1 with the Autobots getting into the rocket and going into space, and then the rocket got destroyed. But haha, they weren't on the rocket. There's the designs are still ugly. Q is ugly as hell. We got the death of Ironhide. I like Ironhide. The design, he looks like a bull, and his truck is okay. It's a little plain, but it's okay. And Optimus finally killed Megatron. He went like cleaved him in half, cleaved his head in half, and decapitated him. And I think he killed Sentinel with his rust gun. So yeah, but that's murder Prime. That's the Bayverse Prime. He's a murderer. He did finish. He did end the conflict. In the cartoon, it would be taking Megatron to jail, arresting him. But I guess there's no jail on Earth that could hold him. So it would be like Superman, Man of Steel, where he snapped this guy's neck. But it was the end. Megatron was gone. Sentinel Prime was gone. The Earth was at peace. A Cybertron, I think it was left near Earth's orbit or it went back. I don't remember. And that's going to cause some tidal damage, some Earth damage. But I'm sure it went back for the next movies. But it was like an end. It was a final. It was a finality. You didn't have to keep doing more. And Michael Bay was like, I'm not doing any more. Until they dropped a suitcase of money in front of him. And they're like, more money, please. And I'm back. I'm back. He's back for Rise of the Beast, but as a producer, but he's back. So Dark of the Moon is my favorite. Took me 30 minutes.